promise you.
Okay, maybe you
All
need
good.
not
Full
to
of
relax.
love.
But Rakia, don't you?
Work up your mind then.
When someone is known for just coming in here and just saying absolute nonsense, just absolutely obvious, just troll nonsense, like, you know, people are being killed off and replaced with robotoids. Like, don't you think that you cannot take someone seriously that says that? For you to say, oh, he's got truth. You know, if somebody that goes around and tells you nonsense like that, why would you take them seriously on anything they say?
It's up to you.
It's up to you. Yeah, it's
You
up
can
to
make
you.
that
Yeah.
choice.
Just because he's flat earther, he's
Hey,
my
why
friend in
don't
blood.
you tell me how dumb I am again,
Well-
buddy?
Well, look, Rakia, as a business owner, if you had an employee that lies all the time, would you consider them trustworthy? Would you trust
No.
them, your business, if they lie all the time, if they just say things that are obviously and patently false?
No, but I don't know if he's lying about that. Maybe he really believes that. That's not a lie.
Just because you believe something doesn't make something not a lie.
Yeah, well,
And it doesn't make it even better, by the way. It makes it
if
even
he's
worse
not
for you.
intentionally deceiving you, it's not a lie.
Well, yeah, he
Well,
could
then he's
believe
more
the
dumb.
shit, but it
Something
doesn't.
he's wrong about.
Lymanberg
he's
could
dumb.
believe a shit. I don't even know if he believes the shit.
Right,
he's
exactly.
about.
That's my point. You can't know. So how can you
That's
know he's lying about it?
irrelevant. That's irrelevant whether or not
No,
he
it's not.
believes it.
No,
It's
it's not.
still, it's still not true.
It's irrelevant.
It's true to
Yep.
him.
It's not
not-
about true to him, man.
It's
There's
true to
nothing
him.
as subject. There's no subjective reality, my dude.
How do you know it's not true, Brenda?
Yeah. How do you know? How do you know he don't believe it?
How do you know it's not
Any,
true? How do
any,
you know it's not true?
any claim without no evidence can be dismissed without any evidence.
Just
Get
because
this
you
right,
don't have the
your
evidence
asshole.
don't mean he doesn't.
Any claim without evidence can be dismissed without
Do you
evidence.
know everything,
Full
sir?
stop.
Do you know
Do
everything?
you know
Do you have
everything?
the evidence
Do you
for
know
everything?
everything? Do you
No, I
have
do
the
not.
evidence for everything?
Absolutely
Never
not. That's
do.
why I'm claiming you can't know.
What's the point? So what's the point?
You're
What's your
claiming
point then?
you know.
Any claim that has no evidence can be dismissed without any evidence.
How do you know he doesn't have evidence?
Did he provide any evidence?
How do you know
Did he provide any
It
evidence?
doesn't. He don't have to.
Did
to
he
show
provide
it.
any evidence?
No, he didn't. But does it mean?
Then
he
I
doesn't
can
have
also
it?
dismiss it. I can even call it a lie. I don't
You
really
can dismiss
care.
it if you want, but you don't know.
He's a
you
liar.
don't know for sure. You don't know 100%.
So you really buy this shit that people are being killed and being replaced by automaton? You really buy
I
that
don't know
shit and
anything
you believe?
about that. I haven't even
I don't
heard
know.
him say that.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm playing with my nose while I'm talking on the phone.
You
I don't
asked
know.
me a question. You're demeaning. That's all you're here to do. You're here to put me down too. It's shameful. Are you a man?
It's pretty easy to say that if he brings
Man,
up a
more man
topic,
than you, yes.
It's called
More
having an
man than
open
me.
mind. I
Right,
mean,
I'm
we
sure
just
you
don't
are.
know if it is or it isn't. What if it is? You didn't have an open mind, and
A
now
real
you're
man
silly
wouldn't say
for denying it, right? That's the point.
Well, how about this, Kim? How about this? What if you were actually a donkey, but a donkey who can
Who is
speak the
this
human
guy?
language? Is it possible? Is it possible? Is it possible, Kim, or no?
I don't know
That
what
you're
you said.
actually a donkey, but you can speak a human language. This is the same level
Nice
of
guy.
absurdity, my dude. No. I'm not being insultive or anything. I'm just giving
You're
you an
not being
example.
insulted.
How
You've done nothing
someone,
but demean
how
people.
someone,
Be
shut
insulted.
the
I
fuck
don't
up,
know
you
what
little
you said. What did you
dumb
say?
Yeah, there you go. Look, dumb what?
This is the same analogy
I'm
that when
exposing
someone
you,
says
sir.
who you exposing, dude? Who you
That's
exposing? How
all
old are
you
you?
have. That's
How,
all you've
how
done.
old are
I'm
you,
50,
big boy?
I'm
How old
50
are you?
years
How
old,
old?
big boy.
And you believe in a pizza-shaped Earth. You
Yeah,
believe in
whatever.
a pizza-shaped Earth. You
Because my
truly
belief
believe
is
that we're living on a
because
pizza.
my belief is different. Your butt hurt. Why is that?
It's not a belief, my dude. It's not a
I'm not.
belief, dude. It's not a belief, dude.
It's a religion.
If you
No.
skipped
Not just a
schools,
belief.
if you skipped the school, if you
You know
skipped the school,
everything.
you didn't study
I
good, it's
skipped
not my
school.
fault, dude, that
I'm
you
a
believe
college
in
graduate.
stupid ass shit.
I'm a college graduate and a business owner of 30-something years.
come on,
3 kids.
Does your kids believe in flat Earth?
That's none of your business.
Why not? Do your
Because
kids
it's
believe in
not.
flat Earth?
What does that have to do
Yeah,
with you?
of course
Ask
they
them.
don't.
Ask them.
What's
You
it
Why
got
don't
to
you
do with
ask
you,
them?
nice guy?
Aren't
I
you
have
curious?
asked them. I
Nice
know if
guy.
they do
Why
or
are you
not.
asking
You can
about
ask.
his kids and his family?
Yeah, why are you even want to
Because
know?
Why
he
is it-
doesn't teach him
Unless
that.
he
anything
brings
wrong?
it up, nice
I don't
guy,
teach them
you
that.
shouldn't really
No, I
ask
Is there
about his
anything
kids
wrong?
and his family, right?
Right. Well, I can tell you my parents what do they believe in. They don't believe that the Earth is flat. They believe that the Earth is globe. It's totally fine. What's the problem?
Is that
of me
how
telling
low
what my
you
parents believe?
ball earth has got to go? You think, right, I can't attack the individual,
What's
let me
the
attack his
problem?
family.
What's no. You're not
Yes,
getting it.
yes,
I'm not
yes,
attacking
yes,
anyone.
yes.
That's just all
So,
Yes, this
projection.
is
instead of
the
attacking the
donkey chemo,
argument,
the liar chemo.
nice guy, you're over talking
The
me.
liar
Nice
chemo is
guy,
talking.
nice guy,
Don't lie again.
nice guy. So instead of attacking his
I don't talk
argument,
to liars. Chemo, I don't talk to liars. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm still trying to say something.
Demeaning him, calling him a liar.
I'm sorry, Chemo. I don't talk
I'm
to
still
liars.
trying to say something, nice guy. So instead of attacking his
Go
argument,
ahead.
Then go
guy,
on
can
mute,
you
nice
stop?
guy, if you don't talk to anybody.
No, I don't talk to liars. That's what I'm saying.
Everyone lies.
I'm
sir.
not talking
Everyone
to you
lies.
specifically. I'm saying and analysing what's just happened.
Dude, listen. Are you too stupid? Are you too dumb to realize
we're
the
stupid and
situation
dumb.
we are
Do
in?
we
Right, I
sound
just want to be able
stupid
to
and
say
dumb,
something, nice guy. You're gonna let me?
Are you gonna say something that isn't obvious, Chemo? Aren't you gonna say something you're super fucking stupid to say, Chemo?
Are you gonna let me say that?
Settle down.
I don't think you have anything of value, Chemo, to say.
Yeah, but
I
are you
think
gonna
you
let
get
me
a hold of
speak?
this guy.
Though?
Just let him say it. God damn it.
We went from Brenda demeaning people to nice guy demeaning. This is all y'all have? This is the whole
Listen,
server?
Rakia, okay.
Listen to
You come
you.
here and
Listen
you
to me,
chill.
bud. Hey, listen to
And you
me.
chill.
Do you
Listen,
think
buddy. Listen,
someone...
buddy.
Do you
Listen,
think
buddy.
someone
Listen,
who
buddy.
graduated college and who's owned his
Listen,
business
buddy.
for 35 years and supported a
Listen,
family
buddy.
for
I
30
don't
something
believe you.
years?
I
Do you
don't
think
fucking
I'm
believe
dumb?
you.
Yeah, but
I don't fucking believe.
that's
I
because
don't
you're
believe.
ignorant.
Someone like you to be a flat earther, I don't buy this shit. You must be some weird ass quality
That's
of
your
dumbness,
problem.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
your
just a
problem.
Sound
right?
upset, nice guy. Like you've been lied
Yeah,
to. Not our fault,
sound
right?
I've been lied to. I'm
Yeah,
the
you
one who's
sound
been
like
lied
you
to.
have an issue.
Yeah, you're
I don't have
going
any
through a
All
issue.
you have is
crisis.
personal attack.
I'm just having fun talking
See, you're
shit to
breaking
you
down.
guys. Because
You're
you guys are funny
stumbling, you're
people.
stuttering.
This
This is a
is my fun.
breakdown, right?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
breaking
this is
down.
my fun.
It's spiraling.
I'm just curious. Like, is your kids flat earthers
I
as
don't
well? I'm
care
just
what
curious.
you're curious about,
Why not?
especially about my kids.
What? Why are you
Leave
being
my
so
kids.
touchy, bro?
Hey, why don't you leave my kids out of it? How about that? I'll ask you nicely.
Yeah,
Well, I
let's
can
not
tell
talk
you about my
about
kids when I
children,
have kids.
other people's children. Unless we're talking about
Hold
children
on,
in general.
Chemo. Hold on, Chemo. I know at your server you talk to kids and you indoctrinate them. Don't be the good guy here. I know what you do in your server. You take little kids, you tell them the
in
lies
general,
that you
but
always tell.
what you're doing
yes,
is you're
yes, in
attacking his
general. Look
family.
at you, you fucking
Yeah, but this is
weasel.
not
You're
just.
a
This is
fucking
his
snake,
family.
Chemo.
Nice guy.
You're a
What's your thing
snake.
about kids, man? What's your problem?
Well, my problem?
And
Yeah,
also,
sounds
it's
like
his
you got an
family.
issue. Yeah.
You're telling
Yeah,
lies.
we've asked you not to talk about it. You brought it up 3 times. You got an issue?
No, I have no issue. I'm just curious.
You
Like,
need to calm down. You
what-
want to talk to
what's
liars
the
and go on
children-
mute. Because
What's
everyone's
the
a
children
liar.
of flat earthers thing? I'm
Now
just
you
curious.
now you're really bringing it up again?
I'm just
Why don't
curious.
you attack
why
the
you
argument,
so...
nice guy, instead of attacking
Ask
his
them
family?
in that case.
I don't want to ask them. I can ask you. Have you ever asked them, or are you
I
so
don't speak
scared
for
to
them.
tell them? Or you are you
Scared?
so scared? Maybe you're ashamed to tell them
Scared?
that you're a flat earther.
Do I sound scared, sir?
Maybe you're ashamed, bro. Who knows? Maybe you're embarrassed to
Do
tell
I
them that you're a
sound
flat earther.
ashamed? I
Who
put
knows?
my
Maybe.
face, I put my voice, I put my
Maybe.
name everywhere. I'm not ashamed. Who are
Maybe
you?
you are ashamed. Maybe
No,
you
I'm
are
not.
ashamed. Maybe you are
Do I
embarrassed.
sound
Maybe you're
ashamed?
embarrassed
I'm
to
not
publish
embarrassed
your
at all. I
name.
tell everyone.
Maybe,
I tell everyone.
maybe you're
I'm
afraid.
proud.
Maybe you're afraid to
I'm
tell your
not
kids
afraid
that
of
you're flat
anything. I'm a
earthers and
Christian.
they make
Just
fun of
can't
it
be
in school
fucking
or something.
personal insults. You're actually arguing about something.
Jesus
Yeah, what is this
Christ.
dude's
You gotta
problem,
take
man?
this to like a private message or something because you're just
No, I don't
shitting
want to
on
talk to
the
this
man
guy.
right
Why
now.
is he just personal attacking everybody? Why
Hold
don't
on.
you go on mute?
What
He's added
personal attack did
nothing.
I say? What personal attack did I say?
You've said nothing.
You're
You've called
talking
people
about his
names
family,
and
nice
demeaned them and
guy.
talked about my family. That's all
Okay,
you've
what did
done.
I say about his family, Kimo?
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
bring up
wanna
his
talk
family. It's
about
nothing to
it.
do with you. We're not here to talk
What did I
about
bring-
families. We're here to talk about your globe proof and the flat Earth. If you're interested in how what's going
Are
on.
you ashamed? Are you ashamed? Why don't you tell us how you
Am I
proved it?
ashamed? I'm
Yeah,
not
have you
ashamed
proved
at
it?
all.
How have you proved
And
it?
to
Who have you
analyze
trusted?
the breakdown of a
Have
ball
I proved it?
time to time.
Yeah, have you
But
proved
family,
it? Have you
why are you
gone
talking
Why
about
should I
his
say
family?
anything to you? No, I want to keep on talking. So you're telling me that where you live and stuff on people knows you as a flat earther?
It's everyone.
Everyone knows you.
Yeah, see, you were wrong again.
Holy shit, man! This will be a big problem for you, man.
But
Who's
nice
the
guy,
big
you're
problem?
boring everybody else. They
Why
want
Oh
a
are you
my
worried
topic.
about me?
If my father were a flat earther, man, I would be super fucking ashamed. I couldn't look at his eyes, man.
Who cares
That's a
what you
serious
think?
problem. Oh man, that means you're so fucking stupid. It's unimaginable,
Are
dude.
you kidding me right now?
Why don't you pump the
Yeah,
brakes
keep
on the
laughing there,
personal
buddy.
insults,
Everyone
man?
is hearing you.
This is a Discord server specifically for communication about flat Earth versus non-flat Earth. And when you just come in here and you start throwing insults around, you're not helping anything. You're not furthering any conversation. All you're doing is fucking lambasting this guy for a
Okay,
point
how
of view
about
that
you
he
take
didn't
handle
make.
of this, and
So
how
why
about you
don't
help them?
hang on,
How
why
about you
don't
help them
chill out?
realize?
And why don't you
How
bring
about
up
you
a
help them
topic to
realize?
talk
Okay, how
about?
about you help them realize Since you have been here for a long while, I think you still have some hope for them to change their minds.
But nice guy, not only are you talking over the flat earthers, you're now over talking your own team.
Thank you, though.
No,
Thank you for
he's
going
not
on
on
mute.
my don't correlate me with him.
No,
Just
but
because I know the Earth is around and so does he doesn't mean we're on a team.
no, but that's
He's
fine.
being
But that's why we
he's
jumped
being
on him. Yeah, I can handle myself. But thank you for telling him, because he needed to hear it from you. That's ridiculous. Y'all allow that to go on. That's ridiculous, man. It looks bad on all y'all. Looks bad on me. I won't let it happen. So y'all want to ask questions and go on with the argument? Let's go.
Who
All
was
this
asking
personal
questions
stuff is-
about the argument?
100% agree. Bringing up families and all this other bullshit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Nice guy, leave the families out of it, and let's look at.
Okay.
It
No
was
more
related to
families.
the topic in the sense of how the fuck would someone as dysfunctional as Rakia have a life? He was curious.
True.
That's what was on the topic.
No,
I'm not
hold on.
dysfunctional.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
You are, yes.
I mean, attacking the individual is one thing, but if you're going,
Chemo, you're the last one to speak, my friend. Chemo, you're a little fucking
Hey, you're
snake.
talking
We know
about
what
chemo
you do.
now. Now you're talking about chemo. You're always personal. Won't you?
Rakia, do you want my attention, or Chemo, do you want my attention? Who wants
I
my
want you to
attention?
go on mute and
okay?
never talk again. How about
I
that?
want you to.
or
No, it's not gonna happen.
I would like to hear the evidence for the globe spinning
Yeah,
ball.
he ain't got none.
We don't need to provide evidence. You need to
Here's
provide
Brenda
evidence.
cutting in, because nice guy don't have any.
Nice guy
We've
don't
heard
have
all-
any.
we've heard all your
Rakia life
evidence.
has the all truth of the world.
No, I
Rakia
didn't say
has
that.
the ultimate
We're asking for
knowledge.
yours. We're asking for
Rakia
yours.
got
Just
the
give us one.
revelation from God
directly
himself.
Hey, nice guy, what's your number one proof you live on a spinning sphere? Number one.
On the spinning sphere,
Yeah, what's your number one proof?
focal pendulum, the
Focal
motion of the
pendulum.
stars, the motion of the sun, all of those things.
So
When I
you
look
think
at
focal pendulum
when I look at the
proves
sky,
rotation
I
of the
see
Earth?
Mars.
Hang on, I asked for
see
one.
Venus.
Are you ignorant? I asked for one. You're number one.
Wait, are you
Yours
dumb?
1 through
Are you
5.
retarded? Are you
No.
retarded?
No, I
Are you
asked you a
retarded?
question. One
Are you
proof.
retarded?
You said focal pendulum, so let's take that.
Are you retarded?
No, you seem to be going on and answering a question I didn't ask.
It doesn't
That's
matter to you.
retarded. That's
It's
retarded.
this is the way I
Focal
answer
pendulum.
question. What's your problem?
No, one, your number
Hold on.
one
So
proof.
you're gonna put me in a
focal
box?
pendulum.
You're gonna
No.
put me in a box? No, hold on. You're gonna
No,
put
you're
me in
being
a box.
ridiculous. You answer my question. Focal
I
pendulum.
answer your question the way I want you to ask your question. What's your problem?
Yeah, okay.
What's your
Not my
problem?
question. Not an answer to my question.
Now today is the
Did
flat
I
earth
ask
factor.
you to give me
today.
your best 5 proofs? No. Listen very carefully.
There's
You're
no as
number
best
1.
5, dude.
Oh, there's not. You don't have a number
This
1?
is not some compilation on YouTube video top 10, top 5 shit, man. Okay, it doesn't work like this.
So
Okay,
you can't
they're
calculate.
all
You just can't answer
they're
simple
all
questions.
they're all incredible proofs, man. They're all incredible
Right.
proofs.
Maybe turn around on me on how dumb my question was.
You're dumb, dude. There's no doubt
there
about
it is. You can't help it. So focal
You can't
pendulum,
help
what
it.
does that prove?
If you're
Focal
serious,
pendulum.
I'll be serious.
You don't even want to talk about your number 1 proof. Why is that? You scared?
It proves
You ashamed of
rotation.
it? No,
It proves
Brenda.
rotation.
We're talking to a nice guy right now.
No,
Nice
no,
guy.
hold on. No. I want to talk to Brendan now. What the fuck is your problem? When someone answers you, why do you need to fixate on me? Do you think I can't
Because
respond
you
to
gave
someone
the
idiot
answer.
like
Now
you?
I want to ask you how you know that.
You think I'm unable to answer your
You
fucking
just want to
stupid
make
question?
it personal. No, I'm asking you. Very
Do you think
simply.
someone hold on? Are you?
Go ahead.
Do you think I'm stupid like you or something?
No, I do not. I think you can
we get
explain
some
it. Go ahead.
moderation
We
in
want to
here?
hear
I
it.
mean, I'm all for open debate, but this dude's just being antagonistic for no reason.
Who is?
Hold on. I will stay quiet then.
Nice guy, whoever the guy keeps throwing out
Yes.
insults.
That's ridiculous. Brenda, okay, so the nice guy can go on mute. Brenda, how does the focal pendulum?
So you're not the mod in the room?
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. You're telling people to go mute and unmute.
Do
What's
you
your
want to
problem?
answer, or do you want me to ask Brenda?
Well, I want to answer when I feel want to answer, but now you can go ask Brenda if she wants to answer.
Thank you. Brenda, how does focal pendulum prove the rotation of the Earth?
Because of the conservation of momentum in its plane of oscillation, it maintains that plane, and then it turns. The Earth turns underneath it.
So I agree with you. if an object is turning underneath something that's swinging back and forth, I would give you that it would precess in a certain way. Let's say 15 degrees per hour, if that was it, right? If the rotation dictated that. Now,
I think
what's your
13.
alternative? What's your alternative conclusion of that? What else could be causing that?
I don't know what else could be causing that.
Okay, no further questions.
Why?
No
What's the
further
matter with
questions.
that?
He established the flat Earth just now.
Leave it like that.
You can use a Foucault's pendulum or a gyroscope to calculate your longitude
No,
and
what is
Or your
Rakia's
latitude, you mean?
alternative?
your latitude. Yes,
That's the whole thing. Is if it's something else, then why would it correspond? Why would it correspond to our latitude if it's something else? Because it doesn't turn 15 degrees per hour, except for at the poles.
Right. So an alternative hypothesis could be invisible gremlins are turning
Sure,
it.
there you go. That's a better answer than I don't have one.
Sure.
Yeah, because
That's a
in
possible-
science, right, you should always have alternatives. That's what science is, right?
You can
Wait,
never
wait,
isolate
that's-
every possible variable.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, but-
Y'all
That's
try
Now,
to
maybe
do
if
it
you,
for real.
if you went through
Science,
investigating reality using that methodology, you'd never be able to find anything about anything because there could always be something else.
That's not true.
That
As
is
you're
true. Hold
searching
on.
for other alternatives, you can prove your conclusion even more. You can make it better.
No, you can't.
You can, and you disprove other things and rule them out.
just go with the an abductive reasoning to
Okay, hold on.
the best alternative, and the best alternative is that the Earth is rotating. Invisible green pixies is not a very good. It's not abductively apparent, or whatever you'd say.
So if it's not Earth rotation, what is your alternative, Rakia?
Rakia has no alternative.
Hang on, give me 1 second. I'm texting
Rakia says that science is supposed to be done this way or that way, or you're supposed to do these, alternative theories, but the flat Earth community is yet to come up with a basic fucking model. Yet they're there to tell how science should be done.
Yeah, it's easy to use abductive, inductive, and deductive reasoning, and you will have a wide array of accuracy when you use the three different ones. And the one that most scientists will use is deductive because it's the most accurate.
Mhm.
So saying, it could be gremlins or abductive, using partial information. Sure, you can do it, but you're not going to be very accurate.
Absolutely true. I agree with you.
But that's the whole point of falsification in science, is when you come up with a better explanation and you can prove it, that's when you falsify in science. So it's not just we can have another hypothesis. Yeah, we can always have another hypothesis. It's a hypothesis that has better explanatory power.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that totally. But if you never come up with alternatives and you never try and prove those right, you never do that. It never happens.
Right.
So why does flat Earth never come up with an alternative?
But what he's saying is that, like, take the gremlins example. You don't ever have to test for gremlins because there's never been an observation for gremlins. So you can dismiss those entirely until you have evidence to show otherwise.
Yeah, that's abduction, I believe. That's the abductive process. I could be wrong about that, though.
The alien abduction.
I think that's inductive, actually. That's the black swan one. You never see it, therefore you can assume it isn't true until shown otherwise.
Go on, Brendan.
Yeah, what about you, Rakia? You haven't yet responded to someone's question here. They asked you, what do you think? Do you have any alternative for the precession of the Foucault pendulum? Other than the rotation of the Earth? Or no ideas?
And just backfilling there, you can have induction, deduction, and abduction.
Looks like the gentleman went AFK then.
So I was texting a contractor. My alternative theories.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard a couple dealing with some type of electrical force, or the medium that seems to be flowing.
The ether, you mean?
So how does it work? How can you falsify?
I don't know that. I don't think it's been proven or falsified yet.
So what good is your alternative?
No, I didn't say I could replace the current theory yet.
Well, why are you looking for why are you demanding others have an alternative when you don't even
I'm
have
not.
one?
I'm not. I'm just asking if there are any.
No, why were you giving them such a hard time about not having an alternative? Asking them for, well, do you have an alternative explanation? But
Because we're
we don't
talking
need
about
one.
how. Oh, you don't need one. It's just settled, right? Settled science.
Well, we have an explanation that works, that we understand, and we
I
know
understand that.
what it is, why it works this way. So
I
why do we
understand
need
can
an
make
alternative
predictions.
to that?
Yeah, I understand all that.
Well, if
I
you
don't
understand
disagree
that,
with
then you'll probably stop asking silly things like, well, what's your alternative to that?
So if
When
we
don't
stop asking
need one,
questions
and
and
you
stop
just admitted
just
we
talking about and
don't, you
trying to prove
understand
things
we
wrong
don't.
and prove things right, then it's just settled, right? The science is
Yeah,
over.
you're babbling at this point.
Well,
It's
Okay?
it's kind of the same lining. We have the same amount of
just sit
evidence.
down and let the adults talk for a while.
Yeah, what we're
Like
saying is
nice
that our
guy.
current observations account for 99% of what we observe on the Earth. So we can and do still continually look for alternative theories, but the pickings are pretty slim, and it could be ether thing has already been assessed and dismissed. So if you want to come up with a brand new theory that can also account for the 99%
I
that we
didn't say
currently have,
ether, sir.
plus the
Y'all
extra
did.
1% that we're not
I
aware
did
of,
not say
then by
ether,
all
sir.
means. But
Sir,
until then, we're going to
I
work
did
with
not
the
say
theory
ether.
that we know encapsulates every observation that we've made thus far.
Again, I didn't say ether. Y'all did. I said medium.
I think the important thing here is, we all agree, including Rakia, that you need something with better explanatory power, and that let's give props for that, because at least that is a sensible position to hold.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But again, just postulating all these different things until we have a better explanation. It's not the fact we're not asking questions. It's the fact that until we have a better explanation, we're going to use the one at hand because that's the one that works.
Yeah, I agree. Just the scary part for me and what I've seen over the last 10, 15 years is science has become more and more where they push back, right, on the alternatives. They don't want them studied. They don't want them thought about or theorized on or investigated. They're comfortable. Everything's.
But you're not presenting an alternative, though. Let's make no mistake here. How do you know it's not something else? It's like saying, look, we know that cyanide kills human beings, right? You go, well, how do you know it kills human beings? Maybe it doesn't kill human beings, right? You're trying to present us with an alternative. You're saying, well, why aren't we looking at alternative? Well, you present the alternative, and then we'll entertain it.
No, why do I have to present it? Also, I was asking
because we have many independent lines of evidence that also conform to the Earth rotating, right?
Well,
to the
maybe I'm just
observation.
curious if other people have alternative. That's why I asked.
Well, are you curious about the alternative? Maybe cyanide doesn't really kill people. Have you ever explored that?
I've never even worried about that.
Oh.
But I was asking.
Well, why are you worried about the Foucault pendulum? Because you might have cyanide in your diet at some point, right? Aren't you worried about that?
Probably so. I'm sure I do.
Well, it could be. For instance, cyanide is in apple pips and is sometimes used by people. It's used by people as a cure for cancer, and it kills them.
Not apple pits, peach pits, right?
Yeah, it's
sorry. I was close. Maybe not.
Well, it's hard to determine if it cured the cancer or if it kills the patient.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, apricots.
Maybe you are close about the Foucault pendulum. Does it work every time? I've heard it doesn't.
The only place Foucault pendulum doesn't work is on the equator.
No, I heard even on different, like, everywhere, even in the main ones that work, that are in the big historical places, like, they don't work all the time.
Well, if nobody gives
what other rumors would you like?
Oh, that's rumors.
Okay.
Oh, maybe
that sounds like a rumor.
No, I know the story. There was a story that went around that a Foucault's pendulum did not precess during an eclipse.
Come on, Druff,
That
for real?
that was the story. That was the story that went around, wasn't it?
Just a couple.
I'm not cupping him. It was an onion story, for God's sake.
No, it's not an onion story. It's called the Elias effect, and it is a real thing that's being investigated. They don't know for certain whether it's consistent or other confounding variables.
But is it what Rakia is talking about? It doesn't bear any resemblance to what Rakia was alleging. He's heard. Rakia's heard that, in museums, the big ones, the major displays.
Right, where the Foucaults are.
What has Rakia heard? Make him explain. Don't try to go to bat for him.
Yeah, don't present your proof and alternatives to why things may
How
not
much
work.
of that were
Just
you
hide it.
talking over,
Hey,
Rakia?
Rakia, I just
How
want to say
much?
something.
How much of that was Rakia talking over?
A lot. Your mic is terrible, by the way. I can barely hear you.
That was me.
Oh,
I
that was
love
Brenda.
Curve's
That was
mic. What
Brenda
are you talking
interrupting.
That was me, because I want to get going, because I have to get fixed lunch or supper. But I just wanted to say to Rakia, you talk about wanting to have respectful debates about the issues, and I do too. But I'm not allowed in most of the discords, particularly in Nathan's, because I'm effective against him, and he's terrified of me.
Right.
So if people want to contact me, they can, and we can have a StreamYard debate one-on-one, and it will be respectful.
Maybe just
But
stop calling people dumb and assuming they're ignorant just because they don't agree with your way.
Maybe they are dumb. Who knows?
That
So
should
let's
apply,
talk.
that should apply
Yeah,
both
maybe
ways.
they are, but you don't have to call them dumb and demean them.
I would stop that. I would stop that if they stopped. I would not do that if they stopped calling me a tranny and all those other
I agree.
terms that
That's
they use.
terrible, right?
Yeah. So I don't feel like I have to moderate my mouth if they are not going to moderate their mouths.
Well, that's probably not why you're never going to be invited. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I think it's because I humiliate Quantum Eraser. The last time I spoke to him, I absolutely humiliated him.
Yeah. Okay.
I did, and it's simple to do. Also, I have a high school education, and I just asked him one question, and he couldn't answer it, and he just launched into expletives and all that stuff. So I have to go. I need to actually buy food because I'm out. And I'm at supper time.
Yeah. Enjoy your day, Brenda.
What'd you ask him?
So let's talk about the eclipse having an effect on the Foucault. Why do y'all think that would happen?
They don't know exactly why, but now that they discovered gravity waves, they believe that it could be a result of refraction of gravity waves.
So is that an electrical field?
We don't
That wave?
know that it does.
No,
There
a gravity
are a
wave.
few
Is that-
people that have claimed it.
Yes.
No, it's pretty well documented at this point,
Yeah.
but it's not.
It's as far as
The
I know.
problem is it's not consistent at all observers
It
in
was
all
observed once,
places.
as far as I can, as I understand.
No, there's a whole article on it on the NASA website. I'll post it for
Maybe
you.
it has
There's a lot more
difference
than one
on
observation.
how close the sun and moon are eclipsing to that particular observation point, right? If the Foucault is further away, it's not affected as much because the wave going through there doesn't make the precession different.
Is it a
You have the
lunar or
first
solar
clue
eclipse?
what you're talking
And
about
which
at the moment.
and which would
Rakia.
well, he said wave, so I'm assuming that's some type of electrical wave or current.
He said a
And
gravity wave.
that's kind of some of my alternative theory involves some type of an electrical charge. I said that earlier because we see static electricity or feel it. We can measure it. There's some other type of electromagnetism that seems to be in the atmosphere. We definitely see light and electrical charges. So electricity seems to be involved right in our atmosphere. So if that can be making that precession, deflection, whatever it is, on the rotation on the Foucault.
Could you be more generalized
Nah,
than vague?
I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a physicist, so I'm just using
Clearly.
generic
That's
terms.
apparent.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. So I'm just using the layman's terms. We all know that when that
No, you're
pendulum swings
using
back and
derp
forth.
terms.
Yeah. If you want to demean me, go ahead. You can take the place of all nice guy and
Well,
whoever
that
else.
deserves
Go ahead.
demeaning because saying that electrical stuff can make a pendulum precess is nonsense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you can give a mechanism using the laws of physics that show that it can be done.
You should be able to measure that effect quite easily.
Yeah, if that type of electrical static electricity or whatever it may be is measurable in that instance, yeah. I mean, I'm getting back to why the eclipse, which seems to be taking effect on some of these Foucault, why would that be if there's not some type of field or electrical charge? Or wave, as you put it.
An electrical charge would be easy to detect across the Foucault's pendulum.
Sure. So is the gravitational wave, is that magnetic or is it electrical or is it both?
Gravitational waves are not magnetic.
Okay. So are they electrical?
Not that I...
No.
No, I didn't think so.
So what's a gravitational wave? What's it consist of? Like what? It has to be something, right?
Yeah, it's a ripple in space time.
You can ask the same question about electromagnetic wave, Rakia. You can sit here and ask, what is an electromagnetic wave? Over and over, like an idiot. What does that achieve?
Rakia can answer that question quite well. Go ahead and explain what an electromagnetic wave is, Rakia.
No, he brought up the gravitational wave. I'm asking, what is it? Like, can he explain it? I don't know what it is.
It's literally the rippling of space-time. So you're breaking stuff down to an understanding of physics that requires at least a certain amount of education to understand and process.
I understand. So
and
understand
there is a point in this conversation where we reach certain levels of intellectual discussion that, yes, definitions and terms change once you go across and start getting deeper into stuff.
Mm-hmm. So when the eclipse happened and this bending of space-time comes down to Earth and affects that pendulum, can you explain that?
Is it above my pay grade? Yes.
Okay, so it's above mine too, so we're pretty equal on this point, right?
What are you asking Bender?
Because he brought it up.
People that know better than we do.
No, but you're asking an extremely stupid question.
Okay,
So how else could that guy possibly answer that question? Apart from saying he doesn't know.
I think he said that they don't know, and I was just asking
No,
if
but
he had.
the question you asked was ridiculous.
Oh, we're going to talk about me?
No. You know what? Do this.
Maybe you rephrase the question better.
Repeat the question you asked him,
mm-hmm.
and this time, think about how stupid it was.
Okay, I'm thinking really hard how stupid I'm being when I ask the question.
What was the question you asked?
Are you gonna be quiet?
What was the question you asked?
How do eclipse affect Foucault pendulum? Because that's what y'all brought up. I didn't even bring that up. Y'all
actually,
think to yourself how stupid. Think to yourself how stupid of a question that is.
Why is it stupid? It actually works, right? There's scientists working on that theory right now.
You tell me, how can someone possibly answer that question?
Well, what do you mean? They're studying it right now. They're trying to find out the answer.
Who's studying it? A very small niche group of people are studying that effect.
So yes, they are studying it.
There have been a whole load of observations done. The vast majority didn't show any effect. A few did. So so the data set itself is an issue.
So maybe it doesn't affect Foucault.
Exactly. So at the moment we're trying to find out if there is an effect. I don't think we're any further down the path than that.
I didn't even bring it up.
We're talking about
that's why I think it's people being a bit.
And even if that effect exists or not, it still doesn't nullify the result that the Foucault pendulum shows the Earth rotates.
No, I agree with that. But if the Foucault
it doesn't. No. Hey,
he cut me off again.
You're totally right.
It must be Branch,
right? He's probably 3/4 of the way through a bottle of vodka.
Who unmuted Branch and why?
Hey, Branch should always be unmuted.
My Branch.
No, Branch should always be muted. You know that.
Hey, listen. Look. Otherwise, who would have brought up the fact that they were trying to slander Mr. Bender?
I've had worse things done to me, Branch, but thanks for white knighting.
So anyway, we obviously have.
I hate it when people fucking ask stupid questions.
My goodness.
Hey, Ricky, it's like that. There's a point at which don't even consider myself highly educated. I just have science as a hobby. There is a point at which things break down from my understanding level, and I have no problem saying I don't have a fucking clue how it works. But the things that are within my wheelhouse, electromagnetism, I build electric motors as a hobby. I know how that system works. But even that will eventually break down to the point of understanding that I can't comprehend.
With the universe, right? When you're using it to build a motor, right, you're very specialized, and I agree that you're probably an expert on it, right? But when it comes to
the actual processes by which an electromagnetic field breaks down and generates reverse currents and ripples.
Right, no. I understand, but if we were all like talking about that and we were asking questions, wouldn't it help you like gain knowledge? That's all we're doing here. So you brought up someone brought up the Foucault pendulum being affected by eclipse. Now let's try and figure out if anyone has any bits of information on that or knowledge that we could share and maybe build on that, because that seems to be something that's being studied. I've heard of that before. Y'all brought it up today.
We agree that it's being studied, but it breaks down to a point that most of us would understand the concept.
Looking at the most recent literature on the subject, the consensus seems to be, because it has been not only registered on the pendulum, there's local gravitational anomalies that are recorded. So they believe it's gravitational in nature. And now with the discovery of gravitational waves, they believe that there's some type of effect that's happening with the gravity waves due to the alignment of the moon and affecting the gravity waves as they come from the sun. And so that's creating some type of an effect that's creating a local gravitational anomaly.
Yeah, see, there you go. So you think that affect the Cavendish experiment also?
It's possible, but that's easy enough to negate by not doing it during an eclipse.
No, I agree. But if you did one during an eclipse and it affected it, then we would know there was some type of force being generated, whether it be gravitational or something else, right?
Well, it would be kind of like the same issues you would have if you're trying to investigate, magnetism, and then you decided to do some of your experiments within a strong magnetic field, right? You wouldn't do that. You would try
No
to.
one said it was going to be easy, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't discount the observations that are done. I mean, try to say, because there's this anomaly during an eclipse, which, by the way, the heliocentric model has a working explanation for it.
Yeah, almost all.
It doesn't suddenly discount, the times where it worked, the other 99.99% of the time. And by the way, it's not that it stops working; it's that the rate of precession changes, not matching the latitude. It's not that it stops showing the movement of the Earth.
Maybe that's when they started on certain times of the month. It proceeds to go backwards or doesn't proceed as quickly.
No, that's not a valid.
That's just hearsay.
That's false.
That's hearsay.
It's just you making shit up or repeating something that somebody else made up.
Okay, so it's just hearsay.
What you just said, yes.
So no one else has heard that or researched that?
Not what you just said.
Folk off to work every time, proceed in 15 degrees per hour all the time?
No, that's not what you just said. You said it could have to do with the day of the month you started the pendulum, which would have zero effect on it.
Okay, so if we're talking about the moon and the sun's position affecting it, maybe that's why it's not rotating 15 degrees per hour.
Also, stop saying it will precess 15 degrees per hour, because it won't, because it only does that one spot on Earth.
Yeah, equator, right?
No, the pole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Wikipedia says that.
I just spurted out equator and didn't even think about it.
Yeah, what else do you not know about this?
A lot, Curve. It's way beyond your knowledge of what I don't know.
Go ahead and present yourself as some sort of expert on it.
No, I'm not. I actually told you I wasn't. I'm actually telling you that I've heard these things for the first time. I never heard gravitational waves affecting a Foucault pendulum ever till today.
And what you guys one second, Bender. I just want to make a really quick point. But I didn't know that about the pole. Someone in here told me, and then I fact checked it. And so that was actually part of the discussion you had. And I think, again, we need to listen to what each other's saying, kind of thing.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. For some reason, Curve doesn't believe in that motto, especially when it comes to me.
No. Curve really listens. I pay attention. He's got a better memory for this shit than I do.
No, I'm not saying about memory, what he can memorize or remember. Obviously, he's intelligent, right? So
he pays attention to the conversation and he actually inputs on point.
Brenda's obviously intelligent, right? Doesn't make her right all the time.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't make Curve right all the time either. Just because he's intelligent and has a good memory, yeah.
Nobody's saying I'm right all the time.
But that wasn't
what
the point. That wasn't even the point on hand.
The point is he cuts in and says I'm wrong about everything. We should hear everybody and explain why you're wrong. And it's, yeah. I am wrong. Now explain why I'm wrong. Go ahead. Just give us your knowledge, bud.
So
with this pendulum, there is an effect that we observe and measure. And regardless of if some anomalous thing happens during an eclipse that disrupts that and changes the amount of the precession or whatever, that in no way says anything about what we normally observe and measure. You have zero explanation other than the globe explanation for the precession of these.
Or did everybody go quiet?
I just rejoined because everything
I
went
guess
quiet.
he doesn't have a reply.
I always
No,
think
no,
it's Curve's
you-
mic, but it might be Discord.
Yeah, everybody went quiet for about the last 15 seconds, Curve.
Yeah, we all did.
With the pendulum, there's an effect that we observe and measure consistently. It varies by latitude predictably and by hemisphere predictably. And just because this can be disrupted possibly by some anomalous event during an eclipse for whatever reason, that doesn't change the fact that we normally observe and measure this effect of the rotation of the Earth, and that the Earth would be spherical in its that's rotating. These all come together to cause the precession that we see, and it's predictable, as I said, mathematically predictable. So, unless you've got a different explanation for it that's at least equally valid, you really don't have any reason to not accept the Foucault pendulum showing that.
This is the time. This is the time where I say congratulations. You have became a new Clover. Welcome.
So what if I use a Nobel Prize winning? I'm sorry, am I stepping on Curve?
Well, I'm just trying to. I'm hearing little bits, and I can't hear Nice Guy, and don't really care to. But am I not coming through or something?
You are.
It's cutting out. Your
You're
mic
coming
is terrible.
through now, but you were cutting out bad a minute ago.
I think your mic is affected by the ether.
Oh, God damn it.
Or maybe a gravitational wave in your area.
Yeah, you clearly understand those things.
You're
Yeah.
a fucking retarded child.
So what if I use a Nobel Prize winning economist? 1988. Maurice
Why
Elias.
don't you use someone else who won a Nobel Prize in some other unrelated field?
Oh,
Like
that's what you're
Obama
all talking
won
about.
in the Peace Prize, right? So you can quote him on matters of science, right?
The Elias effect. He won a Nobel Prize for that, talking about how electromagnetism. He thought that gravity could affect the cosmic ether.
That's not what he won the Nobel Prize for.
Hey, can I
That's
get
what this says.
slice
Ether
that
could be
cherry pie
observed during
comes
the
out the oven?
solar eclipse. Go ahead.
He won the Nobel Prize in economics, not science.
Yeah, that's what it says. Nobel Prize in Economics in 1988. And he did a study on electromagnetism on the cosmic ether affecting the Foucault pendulum during the solar eclipse, right?
Yeah, his explanation rejected Einstein's theory of relativity. That's
smart.
no.
And if he's put his whole life apparently into economics because he was awarded for that, he clearly knows a lot about it. Why should we expect that he spent too much time learning about something completely out of that field? And trust
He
him on
obviously
that,
did,
too.
right? They named it after him, and he was a pretty smart man. Would you agree?
To be fair, he was a
named it after
he was a polymath.
Oh,
So he was good at a lot of different things.
maybe he was just a weekend warrior.
I mean, I know some people are good at a
ether
lot of
part.
things, but if this guy is recognized for economics, is there any recognition for electromagnetism in his name other than this one anomalous thing that isn't accepted?
Yeah, fucking Zoids.
He invented the paraconical pendulum. That's one of his inventions.
Holy shit.
The what?
He earned the Galbert Prize from the French Astronautical Society, and they made him a laureate of the U.S. Gravity Research Foundation in 1959 for his memoirs on gravity. This guy is no, you can't diss this guy. This guy has got creds. He might have some weird ideas, but he may not. I don't think he actually does, because everything I'm reading at the moment says that some of his explanations and interpretations on gravity are some of the best going. So I like him.
20 years from now, when people find my memoirs at the shop, they're just going to think I was an alcoholic, drug-fueled, raging idiot.
Well, that's true too.
Let's not forget that Newton was an alchemist, right?
Oh yeah.
He believed that you could turn lead to gold.
Well, no, I mean this guy's a serious scientist in multiple disciplines. He's one of these annoying fuckers.
So Elias talked about the pressure and humidity and temperature changes during the eclipse being altered, and that could have some effect on.
That's been one proposed idea as well, of
Right.
localized pressure change.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is.
That doesn't require new physics. That's within accepted physics.
Exactly.
They shot him down pretty hard, huh?
That's not shooting him down. That's
No, there's no agreed upon explanation for the Elias effect.
Okay, so the Elias effect is just the name for the observed anomalies, not the proposed reason.
No,
Cool.
it's just the anomaly.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, basically, I've just been reading through this guy's some of this guy's cliff notes, and yeah,
Do I have to listen to your voice, Foolish? Do I really have to listen to it?
No, you can go away.
Let me read this last part. Let me read this last part, Brimmy. Supporters of the effect have cited if it is evidence for anything from dark matter to the electric universe and a flat Earth. If you delve deep enough, you can find occasions where NASA covered up research from several eclipse experiments.
This isn't from Elias. This is talking about Elias's studies that NASA. Yeah, I assure you that Elias never said the Earth was flat.
No, they're not saying that. They're saying that NASA covered up research from several eclipse experiments.
What is
Forbes is a source.
Yeah, if NASA is covering it up, why would they list it on their website with all the times where it has been experimentally verified? Why would they do?
Maybe Forbes just slandered NASA for no good reason, right? In bold print.
Maybe Forbes isn't making the claim that this occurred. Maybe Forbes is reporting to you that there are these people that make these claims.
Oh, okay, maybe so. Yeah, it's in there.
Maybe you could read with comprehension, but I doubt it.
Well, this is Forbes' article. It's one paragraph, right?
Maybe you could read it with comprehension, but again, I doubt it.
Right.
Can I get a
So
slice
you're
of the
attacking
cherry
me.
pie
All
when
right,
it
I
comes
got
out the oven?
So
No, I'm not attacking you.
So why don't you read it and tell us what you think it says?
I've already told you.
Instead of just
what
saying I
think
did
that
it wrong.
was.
Instead of I just did it wrong.
I've
right?
already
You
done
think,
it, Rakia.
So tell us what
I've
it
already
means.
done it. I've already done it.
So tell us what it means.
I've
is dark matter?
already done it. You don't
dark
even
matter-
know what that means.
What does that
So
mean,
is
though,
dark-
Curve,
is
when you
dark
say
matter
you've
wrong
already
too?
done it?
Is dark matter wrong too? Because they mentioned dark matter along the side.
You can't read with comprehension. You can't hear with
From
comprehension.
everything from dark matter to the electric universe and flat Earth, they group them all together.
Because it could be any one of a number of things, and even the science, they don't have a fucking clue yet. It's
The
just an
next
observed
sentence
anomaly.
is NASA covered up research from several eclipse
before
experiments
that.
dealing with dark matter, the electric universe, and flat Earth, right?
Read the bit before that.
Supporters of the effect have cited that it's evidence
No,
from
before
every...
NASA. There's like 7 words before NASA that you're
Well, then you read it. I
deliberately
don't know what you
omitting.
mean. You
And
read
this
it.
is gonna
Completely
be
changes the meaning of this.
this is gonna be let's teach Rakia to read session.
Yeah, maybe so.
Anyone interested in the actual
Phonic?
quotes
Oh my
in the
God.
chat now?
I'm
so-
reading it word for word.
Hey, Wolfgang, have
Good
you
job,
collected any
Rakia.
ties for our church yet?
So is he going to read it or not?
If you read it, they're just talking about what conspiracy theorists have said about it.
Conspiracy theorists, this is talking about dark matter.
He's this dumb. This is not going to work.
You're right. You point out that I'm dumb and not selling the difference.
Dude, it's not a secret, Rakia. Everybody can see it.
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
Hey,
Tell
dumb
us
dude.
why. Tell us why when I read that paragraph that it's wrong.
Well, you didn't read the paragraph for starters. You read a sentence, And if you actually go up to the sentence above, supporters of the effect, so that's the people who believe in these conspiracy theories, have cited it as evidence from anything from dark
supporters
matter.
of the effect means they support the Elias effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
have you read
used it to justify, I'm just going, have cited it as evidence used to justify for everything from dark matter to the electric universe and a flat earth.
So is dark matter wrong then? Because these supporters...
Possibly.
yeah.
I mean, to attribute this effect to it, yes.
Okay, so we agree that...
It's not the fact that it's wrong, but it's stupid to claim that because, as Curved so eloquently put, we don't know.
So we agree that dark matter, electric universe, and flat earth could be wrong, right? So then it goes on, if you delve deep enough to find occasions where NASA covered up research from several... Why would they cover up research if these things are wrong?
You delve deep enough, you find accusations, people accusing that NASA have covered up research.
Right.
This, you know, I'm trying to be nice here, but this is basic fucking English, mate.
I'm accusing you of being stupid, Rakia.
Right.
It's not the
this
same
is
as proving that you are stupid, right?
Forbes put this in their article for a reason, right? You think they're conspiracy
Yeah,
theorists?
you to read it, but
yes.
Okay. So
Because they're basically going blah 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 blah, and really French people think this.
They put it at the end, so I guess you're right.
Because sometimes Forbes wants to put out an entertainment piece.
Congratulations. We have explained something to Ricky.
So that's
part of the game.
Let's read the very last sentence in it, which says, long story short, the Elias effect was likely due to an experimental error, but it remains an interesting story.
One last thing, not to be too picky, but it is the man's name. It is Alay. Okay, the
That
A
is
comes
Alay,
before the I.
okay.
It's not Elias.
Ah.
It's a common mistake. Not picking on anybody, but can we get it straight and call
Alay.
it
Alay.
Oh, Mr.
I'm
Alay.
feeling bad
What's
because
the
I shouldn't know that.
pendulum?
I thought it was Allah is.
Well, you were wrong, and Curve told you. It's
Oh, Mr. Alay.
No, because it's a French fucking name, and then I suddenly thought about it.
What's that apostrophe on the end mean?
It means he is very French.
He's very French.
No apostrophe, little bit French.
He even likes the girl.
An apostrophe.
He even likes the girls with the armpit hair.
So we have now a new global welcome, Rakia.
We.
Apostrophe on the end of what?
Elias, I'm sorry.
Hey, Rikey, why don't you post your rock video? That was actually really good.
Oh, wait, hang on. I don't see the apostrophe on this one. Oh,
Where is it written that it has an apostrophe? And
it's
what
in
would
a
that
sentence.
apostrophe
Yeah, it's in a
indicate?
sentence.
Other than
It's
possessive.
using it. It's not using it as his name. It's using it as the effect. I apologize.
No, the apostrophe indicates that it's a possessive.
Whatever it is, it is
Elias
his.
effect. It is his. It's attributed to him.
Yes, it's not just his name there. It's not as though his name is spelled with an apostrophe.
I know his name was right below it, so I kind of I saw it and I thought it was his name. I get it now. I'm smarter than I look, Curve.
So how do you? What you'd have to be?
Yeah.
Nobody could be as dumb as
You're
you.
smarter than you look,
How
too.
do you spell Tiger's blow? Is that BLEAUX?
Spell? No, I can't spell a lick, man. I'm telling you.
Bleu, BLEU.
Oh, they're talking about dark matter below it.
So what? They mentioned dark matter in it. It's not a fucking arraignment.
Isn't dark matter like anti-gravity?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's dark energy.
Man, you're dumb.
No.
Stick to things you understand.
Dark energy is not anti-gravity. Maybe it's got one of them
No,
apostrophes.
it's a placeholder. So it's this thing we go, well, we don't really have an idea what this fucking is, but let's give it a label, put it in a box, and call it dark energy.
That's like saying, isn't jambalaya dog food?
Or we got this other thing. We don't know what the fuck it is, but it seems to be kind of matterish. So fuck it, we'll call it dark matter. Actually, we'll call it dark matter first, and then we realise we fucked up our math, and then we'll put dark matter in as well for the other missing.
Yeah, and
Then we'll put a little dark liquid in there.
Or singularity. We don't know really what to call it. Just call it singularity.
They're
We do a
trying
lot
to
of that.
replace both of them with dark liquid now, right?
Hey, Racky, why don't you bring up your rock?
We already have dark liquor.
Liquid. All right, I'll post it here. Where do you want me to post it?
That's something you know about. That's something you have.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah, but do you understand
how
what's happening
lenses
in
work?
there? I mean, it's a great argument. It's one of your
Well,
best, actually.
It's
But
just
it
about
has-
how lenses.
It's about how optics work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about the lens. I know that. But
So
it's
you
a cool
think that-
video, though, right?
So that's what happens when we look at a horizon and the sun disappears, or a
Mhm.
boat goes beyond the horizon.
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
Through a lens.
Yeah, through a lens.
high zoom lens.
High zoom lens. You think you zoom in and suddenly you're able to see beyond the horizon?
I don't think you can do that all the time. You can under certain conditions.
It's not a condition. This is actually configuration more than
It
conditions. Yeah,
seems to be that everywhere you look, the atmospheric conditions affects everything, including
this is
the
not an
so-called
atmospheric,
pendulum.
but this is not an atmospheric condition.
Oh, we were talking about sunrise, sunset at the horizon. That's
No, this is strictly lens size and angle that you lined up the rock with the horizon.
Yeah, I posted it. It is one of my favorites.
Well, it's one of your best set pieces of evidence, but it's
I think the ghost boat is my best.
no, it's not the best. That's just miraging. This is the best because it actually kind of attacks your logic or the understanding of how lenses work.
Look how far you can see that bridge on that day. It's like 14, 16 miles.
Hey guys, hold on. Who the fuck muted me without telling me?
Racky did.
No, I don't have that power. I wish I did.
Jacking off right now. I could be watching porn, and you guys would have heard me jacking off. It's not cool, guys.